Namaste. Welcome, beautiful souls. Welcome to my Advent calendar for 2024. And last year, I started this tradition of offering, well, just let me show you. I've made some banners for you here. So in each of these broadcasts, I will be offering a daily inspiration, some of my favorite things, as well as a daily tarot tip. And my intention is to broadcast every day for the 24 days before Christmas. And this just is really something to help me get me in the mood for the season, connect with more of you, and share some of my favorite things. So I want to welcome all of you who are going to participate as well too, because there is a giveaway. And I decided this year to also do a weekly giveaway as well as the grand prize. And there's lots of information down below. And I'm going to show you the decks that I am offering this week. So the choice of the winner, which will be drawn on Friday, December 6th. So let me just start with today's inspiration. And as you know, the new moon is in Sagittarius, and we are in day 2 of that. And yes, also the first Sunday of Advent. This is a beautiful day. And when I read this poem, I just felt so inspired, and I just feel like it captures the Sagittarius energy of exactly what I want to be feeling on this day. And so I thought I would read this to you and then pull a few cards. So I will go like that, and hopefully you can read along if you have the book too. Oh, also I wanted to show you the beautiful artwork. So, okay. And welcome to those of you that are joining the live stream. Welcome to Clevis Perry and Amelia. Namaste. Our moment on stage. Take your seat. Hush now. The curtain opens. Lights flash as we whirl into costume. Stage left. Waxing moonlight glimmers from a trapdoor. Stage right. Velvet drapes conceal cast and crew. Above, ancient bulbs hum, swinging ably as acrobats. Below, worn pine boards smoothed from a million performances before ours, solid as eternity. We step forward. This is our moment. We rehearsed all our lives and know our lines by heart. The cue cards removed at last. This is our command performance. And you there in the audience, when we lift our arms and send our voices outward like striking chimes and begin our soliloquy foretelling all goodness yet to come, tears of fulfillment, unbidden, coursing our cheeks. Come to your feet and meet us. Take us into your hands. Listen until you are breathless. Move your lips silently with us like a prayer until the triumphant finale, as we join in ecstatic jubilation of realizing we made it, and all your support was worth it. Then throw roses, shout, brava, brava. This just felt so jubilant to me in the energy of, I don't know what you could possibly imagine if any of you have ever been on stage and that experience, but also the co-creation of the experience with audience and performer. And in that way, it feels like this celebrates as well too the co-creation of these live streams with me as performer and you as audience, and together we build this beautiful energy. So thank you all for being a part of my channel. Thank you all for being a part of my classes, Facebook group. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And I want to welcome Samara's Soul Scribe. And she is a member of the Facebook group as well, and her name is Shonda, so welcome. Also, I do have one other, I wonder if it's still showing up. I want to welcome new members as well too. I haven't done that for a while, and I'll be sure to do something special before the end of the year. All right, so let's, in celebration of this co-creation of our energies and the new moon in Sagittarius, the celebratory energy of the first Sunday of Advent, I'm going to pull 3 cards. This tarot deck is called Tarot of Echoes by Anatolian, and I believe the mass market version will be released in 2025. This is a truly beautiful 4 of Swords card. The protection of the shell. And there's something about the sweetness of all that is being released here. I'm going to pull a couple of other cards, but I just want to comment on this energy and how important our self-nourishment and sleep is at this time of year, how important rest is, and it's through those moments of nourishment and recovery, and you could add lots of other RE words there, restoration, that all that we don't need to carry often gets released. And I just really love this card. So welcome as well too to Selena. Yes, you are a fan of Anna's work as well too. And welcome to Aria. Namaste. Okay, let's pull a couple more cards. And I want to weave this into the energy of the poem, if you want to call it that as well too, and see if there's a way to... the first thing that's coming to mind is the honoring of household members, people in our workplace, that this very well may be a time when people need to back off a little bit. They need to find a quiet space in the overwhelm of the season, perhaps even in the preparation of all that we are moving through and planning for visits and celebrations and so forth. Amelia has a comment here. The dragon's eye. This looks like a dragon's eye to me. I get that. Yeah. Maybe a weeping dragon's eye. This is a kind of a beautiful combination here of Nine of Wands and Four of Swords. This, and I see the person in the front as protecting and honoring this place of maybe regrouping and slowing down, and it feels really, really caring. And I wonder too if this is also, for me, a message of just let this 24 days of inspiration and tarot and connection, let it flow. Don't worry too much about how it's all going to come together, and know that what is most important is our connections. 6. So we have a 6 and a 9, and these numbers coming together are always powerful and potent, nourishing. Hi, Elizabeth. Welcome to you. And especially looking at the 6 of Cups. Now let's look at the artwork here. I think this is a really poignant message as well at this time of year, in that we must remember that this is not necessarily a happy time for everyone. There is a processing of loss. I know in North America, in the winter months, December and January, there is a lot more death. There's a lot more illness, and sometimes people have very sad memories around this time of year. And yet there's something really beautiful about this sailboat that this gentleman holds. And I love the way that Anna's captured this flowing of energy. Like, this memory is still alive, and there's some powerful connection between the 6 of Cups and the 4 of Swords, in that this healing can happen. Like all of the cards together, this healing can happen together. We are here to support one another, to nourish one another, allow others to stand for you and protect you. And also remember, most importantly, that you pace yourself in a way and you care for yourself in a way that creates the most healing and the most you give yourself exactly what you need to sustain your energy. The card on the right tells me, though, that we are in this together, and we are stronger than we know. And it's also really poignant that this 9 of Wands is here in representing the middle decan of Sagittarius, which is where the moon is right now. And the 9 of Wands also is a lunar decan. So it's doubly potent showing up here. And this may be a really significant card for you. And then when I go back to the poem that I read, this could almost feel like a scene from a play. And I said this early on, it's like, remember to protect and be a little more sensitive to all those that are around. Maybe you can hold the wand on behalf of someone else. Also know that this healing work that you do can be on behalf of someone else. Hello, Saskia. Welcome, welcome. So I hope that connects in some way. If not the cards, the the energy, the beautiful energy of the reading earlier, the poem. Okay. All right. So, my favorite things. Today, I decided to share or pull out 3 workhorse decks. And those of you that are taking classes with me, having readings with me, you're really familiar with the decks that I love and use most frequently. And one of them is the deck that I just used for the reading. One of the reasons that I use this deck is for the flow of energy. The way that all of the paint, the clothing, you even saw what Amelia said about that 4 of Swords card, and later I could see her dragon's eye and almost tears coming from the dragon's eye. It really allows me to marry my experience with esoteric tarot as well as reading more intuitively. This is one of my favorite cards. I will share it again tomorrow when I do my 6 of Pentacles episode. It reminds me of Mary Poppins. Oh, there's so many things. And I haven't done a full video of this deck. The relationship of the Emperor and the Empress really awoke something for me as well. And then the 8 of Cups, or no, the 7 of Cups. There are just so many, many beautiful cards. So this is one of my present workhorse decks, Tarot of Echoes by Anatorian. And I have a stand just to my right here, and it's an acrylic stand, and it has 3 rows, and I can fit about 8 decks on each row. And I just love having it there because I can have at any given time at least 24 decks on my table. And a lot, I said many years ago that my tarot collection isn't really a collection as much as it is a library, a working library. And I'm always rotating and pulling out decks. And so this is my second one, and this is Le Tarot aux Remords Étranges, Tarot of the Strange Branches. This deck was gifted to me by someone on YouTube, and I cannot say enough about this deck. It is so powerful in its readings, and I contemplated putting it away because it's been out for so long, but I just can't put this deck away. And I believe in the summer, I took time to personalize the edges. And there is something about, I just get to know this deck better every time I pull it out for a different reason. I find it is so heartfelt, and it taps into places that other decks don't. I neglected to share this card in my Two of Pentacles. Sorry about that. Yeah, and so I neglected to share this in my Two of Pentacles episode, and I find this pose. So this pose goes by wheel. You might just call it a back bend. It's a very challenging pose that requires a lot of energy, a lot of physical strength, and it is also very heart opening, exhilarating. It feels amazing. And as a symbol of change, the energy of this card, I think if one can do this pose, maybe even later in life, there's something about the combination of strength, the strength that is required to initiate change. And I think of the Two of Pentacles very much as a change card, and the need for that inner fire. This card comes at winter solstice, so that inner fire brought through from Sagittarius season to Capricorn season, I really feel it in this card. So very beautiful. And so yeah, you won't see this deck disappearing from my channel anytime soon, or from classes or readings. And then another deck, this was also gifted to me by Sylvia. And I have said this a few times. I had no idea how I would respond to this deck until I had it in hand. And I want to say welcome to Helen and Janine. Namaste. This is Pagan Other Worlds. And this deck has been just, it's like the tarot or more étrange. It just became home for me. It's like I had been reading it for years when it showed up. And the arrangement of the pips in this deck are, sometimes they follow the patterns of the Tarot de Marseille, but sometimes they took on a different shape. And often the shape that the pips appear in really helps in interpreting the energy of the card. And the majors are absolutely stunning. The court cards, I would strongly recommend this deck. If you're looking for a deck with strong court cards, they are so beautiful. The way that the fabric is painted, it's absolutely stunning. So yeah. So these are three of my workhorse decks. And for my tarot tip today, I want to remind you that color does matter. I get a lot of questions about, this is a centennial, about this deck. And most of you know that I teach a beginning tarot class called Tarot Foundations 1. And I continue to use this deck in Tarot Foundations 2. This is a fundamentally important deck in learning and studying the tarot. This is the C.S. Conrad Stein Tarot with the cracklebacks. This is the Wiser Tarot. quite a few on the table here. This is the universal weight. This one is a really beautiful coloring. And so the tip here is that color matters. Color matters because if you are studying tarot and learning tarot, and you begin with a deck that has contemporized, artistically chosen, appealing colors, because for some reason the historical version of the deck isn't appealing, some of the energy of the cards changes with that change of color. You could get a completely different reading, a different feeling in the card. Sometimes it will highlight, and other times it will completely change the meaning. And I'm not talking here about a Waite-Smith inspired deck. I'm talking about Pamela Coleman Smith's original artwork that was part of an amazing project with Arthur Waite, and built into the colors in the deck is meaning. There is meaning that is carried. There is energy that is carried. And so the deck in the center is really beautiful. It's called the Wiser Tarot. And so if you're working with a deck that is alternately colored, and I'm thinking of some of the ones I have, I have the Trip-In Weight, the Groovy Weight, those very bright colored 1970s colors. It's really, really fun as a secondary deck. So this is really an important tip for beginners in particular, or those who are ready to take their readings to a whole new level. And this may be apparent in major arcana. It may be apparent in minor arcana and come up in very different ways. And you might think that it's not really a big deal, but this is something that is worthwhile having a hard look at. And I did do a full video on this, and later I'll find it later on and link it for you, where I compare, I believe, the Wiser Tarot with a couple other ones with the subtle nuances in change of color. I have one here that is these backs. And again, it has a lot of the whites and grays become have a greenish tinge to them. So it just feels different. So yeah, so that's my tip for today. Color matters, and depending on your reason for choosing a deck, you may want to be more careful about the cards that you purchase. Okay. So let's talk about what's happening with the giveaway. Okay, I have a lot of Oracle and Tarot decks that I have circulated out of my library. And some of them I have sold, some of them I have donated, and there are a bunch that I'm happy to pass on. So I'm decided this Advent calendar, I'm going to do a giveaway on the 3 Fridays. So on Friday, December 6th, 13th, and 20th, I will be giving away a deck, and that includes the postage. And if you live in the UK or the EU or, I don't know, South Africa or somewhere, then your option will be to have a live connection with me. So we can do a 15-minute reading, a quick catch up, or maybe even an email reading. And so the choice for this week, and these decks are listed below, are the AlcheMystical Tarot, Whispers of the Ocean, Earth Power Oracle, Sacred Earth Oracle, and the Cantigee Oracle. So whoever wins on Friday can select one of these decks, and I will get it to you as soon as I can. Now, I say that as soon as I can because there is a postal strike in Canada right now. And so hopefully at some point in January, I will be able to mail you your prize. So in addition to the 3 draws on the 3 Fridays, there will also be on December 24th a grand prize. And the grand prize will be a selection of tarot and oracle decks and other goodies that I have to share with you. So you'll get a surprise gift box, maybe with some choices as well too. So that's the plan. And all you need to do to be entered into any and all of the draws is to make a comment below. Okay? So thank you so much for being here today, and I will see you tomorrow. Take good care. Namaste.